Have you ever looked at a world map and noticed how Europe's southernmost tip and Africa's northernmost point are almost touching? It's a geographical anomaly that sparks immediate curiosity. These two massive continents are separated by a mere 14-kilometer stretch of water known as the Strait of Gibraltar. Yet, despite this incredibly short distance, no bridge has ever been built to connect them. This is truly baffling when you consider that over 50 bridges worldwide span greater distances than this entire strait. So, what's going on here? Why has no bridge ever been constructed? Prepare to be shocked, because we're about to uncover how massive ships, treacherous ocean depths, seismic activity, complex international politics, and even some surprisingly aggressive orcas have prevented a bridge between Europe and Africa from ever becoming a reality. Stay with us until the very end to unravel this incredible mystery. Welcome to Young Curiosity, where we dive deep into the world's most intriguing questions. If you love discovering mind-blowing facts and unraveling complex mysteries, you're in the right place. Please take a moment to smash that like button, subscribe to Young Curiosity for more fascinating insights, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Your support helps us bring more incredible stories to life. First, let's understand why this crossing is so desired. It would create an easily traversable route for 1.5 billion Africans to access Europe and 740 million Europeans to reach Africa, potentially moving millions of people daily. Tourism would undoubtedly boom. Morocco, already a top African destination, sees 70% of its tourists from Europe. A bridge would massively increase this, boosting Morocco's $9 billion tourism GDP. Similarly, Spain, the world's second most visited country, could see even more African tourists, further fueling its industry. Beyond tourism, a bridge would revolutionize trade. Africa is the EU's fourth largest, with trade totaling nearly $300 billion annually. Currently, most goods travel by slow ships or expensive air freight. A direct high-speed cargo train link would be significantly faster and cheaper, reducing reliance on lengthy sea routes. Considering this crossing could connect two continents, boosting both tourism and trade, why hasn't it happened yet? What do you think would be the biggest benefit of a bridge between Europe and Africa? Let us know in the comments. The Strait of Gibraltar is not just a continental gateway, it's one of the world's most vital shipping lanes, the only waterway linking the Mediterranean Sea to the Atlantic Ocean. Over 100,000 ships pass through annually, dwarfing the Panama Canal's 14,000. While a bridge could facilitate train transport, it would severely impede massive merchant vessels. Building a 13-kilometer bridge would take years, rendering large parts of the strait impassable during construction, a huge disruption for a route, seeing a ship every 5 minutes. Once built, the bridge would need to be incredibly high, at least 63 meters above the water, to clear megaships like the 76-meter-tall CGM Jacques Sade. A drawbridge isn't feasible as it would constantly need to lift, causing endless traffic jams. So height is a challenge, but it's just the beginning. The strait is incredibly deep. Its average depth is 365 meters, with some sections plunging to a staggering 915 meters, deep enough to stack 2.5. Empire State Buildings. For comparison, the Golden Gate Bridge's deepest foundation is just 90 meters. The world's deepest bridge, the Padma Bridge, has piles 127 meters deep. Building here would require foundations 7 times deeper than the Padma Bridge just to keep it from sinking. Adding to this, the strait lies directly on the Azores-Gibraltar Transform Fault, where African and Eurasian tectonic plates collide. This makes the region prone to severe seismic activity, like the devastating 1755 Lisbon earthquake, magnitude 9, which caused tsunamis and killed 70,000 people across Portugal, Spain, and Morocco. Even in 2004, the Al-Hoceima earthquake in Morocco, 6.3 Richter, destroyed 2,500 buildings. While anti-earthquake technology exists, like in Japan's Akashi Kaikyo Bridge, the Strait of Gibraltar has an additional problem. Its seabed contains deep channels of unstable quaternary clay, easily shifting under pressure. This means a 13-kilometer, 915-meter-deep, earthquake-proof bridge on an unstable seabed would be incredibly expensive. For reference, the 55-kilometer Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau bridge tunnel cost $18 billion. A Gibraltar bridge would likely be similar, a colossal price tag for a 13-kilometer trip when ferries and 1,000 daily flights already exist. What do you think is the most challenging geological obstacle to building a bridge here? Share your thoughts. Cost and engineering are not the only hurdles. The bridge would cross between Spain and Morocco, requiring international cooperation between countries with a complicated history. Spain maintains territories like Ceuta and Melilla in northern Morocco, remnants of past conquests, which Morocco claims. This historical tension often leads to diplomatic friction. Adding another layer of complexity is Gibraltar itself, a British overseas territory. Captured in 1704, it remains British, much to Spain's dismay. Any major project in the Strait's waters would require Britain's involvement. Given these deep-seated disagreements, true cooperation has been elusive. If all of this wasn't enough, some theories point to a more sinister reason: aggressive orcas. Since May 2020, researchers have documented around 700 incidents of orcas colliding with boats in the strait. In one May 2023 incident, orcas tore off a ship's rudder, causing it to sink. Theories range from food scarcity to the orcas sinking boats for fun. These highly intelligent predators, growing over 9 meters long with a 19,000 psi bite force, pose a serious threat to construction equipment and, more terrifyingly, to human workers, especially underwater divers. The very act of building a bridge would likely provoke these creatures, causing delays and increasing costs. Ancient Greek historians even spoke of Hercules narrowing the strait to prevent monsters from the Atlantic from entering the Mediterranean. While likely fanciful, it adds to the mystique of these waters. What's your wildest theory about why the orcas are attacking boats? Tell us below. Despite these immense challenges, talks about a crossing persist. In 2004, architect Eugene Sui proposed an absurd 14.5-kilometer floating island bridge yacht tunnel. It would descend into an underwater tunnel at 198 meters deep, avoiding ships, emerge onto a nearly 5-kilometer-wide floating island with a resort, theater, and 150 wind turbines, then descend again. Sui claimed it could power all of Morocco and Cadiz and pay for its $10 billion cost quickly. While impressive, its realism is questionable. A more serious proposal dating back to 1930 involves a tunnel under the seabed. Early studies found the seabed too hard for drilling. However, in 1979, Spain and Morocco agreed to study a railway tunnel. They proposed shifting the tunnel route west between Tarifa and Tangier, making it 27 kilometers long but only 457 meters deep, half the narrowest point's depth. Still, overcoming the hard rock and earthquakes remains a challenge. The 2030 World Cup, co-hosted by Portugal, Spain, and Morocco, might be the catalyst needed. Fans will want to travel efficiently between host cities. In June 2023, Spain invested $2 million in a tunnel study, projecting it could transport 12.8 million passengers annually and cut travel from Madrid to Casablanca by 7 hours. After nearly a century of discussion, could this elusive Europe-Africa crossing finally materialize? With ongoing negotiations, a tunnel might just become a reality. One thing is certain: for the foreseeable future, no bridges here. And that's all for today. Before you go, tell me, what do you think is the main reason why no bridge has been built between Europe and Africa? And do you think we'll have this crossing in the future? Comment below, and see you next time.